Hi, Mochismo Eugene. Welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. I ran into the narcissist tonight, or the narcissist happened upon me. I was at the hardware store just hanging out for a minute. They walked down the alley, didn't look my way. I immediately recognized them, and they proceeded over into the tool area where the guy that I was talking to that works there was summoned to tools to assist the customer, which happened to be the narcissist. The narcissist thereby then purchased, I believe, tools of some sort from that department and proceeded to the register. At this time, I was moving around throughout the store because they when they were heading back, or I didn't want to meet them and make eye contact with them when they came back through that same way that they came through when they entered. Like I say, they didn't make eye contact with me because whoever here doesn't know my story, I awakened and I was informed. So much so I informed her brother of what she was. I did that as a tactic. I wouldn't encourage you to call them out directly because it's a dangerous thing to do, because these are demons. That's when their secret is out. You've actually uncovered the mask, and they will rage, and sometimes they will hurt you, harm you, and sometimes do the unthinkable, unalive you. So I did that. I alerted her brother and informed him by way of a YouTube video. I didn't try to explain it. I let him listen to it for a few minutes. That was a tactic as well, because you can't go directly to that family member and say, oh, you know, your brother, your sister, your aunt's a narcissist. They already know. A lot of them don't know what specifically by name, because a lot of them are ill-informed. But here we are in 2024 going into 25 with the internet. This word they've heard most often. Every narcissist and narcissist family structure have heard the word at one time or another. So they know, and they hear the word, so they immediately, undeniably have to attach that word to that behavior that they, in their own family unit, are exercising. And so they are aware, and I knew when I told her brother that he would immediately go back and tell her, under discretion, of course. So now the house is on fire. You got to get out of here, sis. He's crazy. So that's how they talk to each other in code. I don't believe they come out right and say, he knows you're a narcissist, you better get out of there. You got to start over and abuse and slay somebody else. They harbor the fugitive. They have a demonic peace pact among one another. A lot of family unit narcissists can't stand each other, but they will destroy the prey because they have that common cause in mind. How sadistic, right? They don't like each other, but they will destroy whatever the prey is. They have that unification and that allegiance to one another. So I ran into them, so they bounced, got the little toy or tool, which they're going to gift the new supply, as they did with me a few times, to which I rejected a couple of the gifts. Valentine's Day 2019, they gifted me chocolates, to which, you know, I accepted those, and I opened the other gift, and it was silk boxers with hearts all over them. And at this point, it wasn't no romance to be had. But this is what they do when the romance, or whatever you want to call it, has grown stale. This is when they will give you something such as a romantic gift. It is a stab in the chest. They've deprived you in many ways sexually, but come Valentine's Day, it's probably because they want you to have sex with them while they imagine and envision the new supply behind your back. So in essence, they're using you, like Sam Vaknin would say, who's a narcissist and a professor of psychology. He labeled it this way: when the narcissist is having sex with you, they're actually having sex with themselves. They're using you as a sex toy, much like a person or a woman would use, um, you know, different types of sex toys. You are a human being, but in their mind, they don't see you as a human. You are a tool. You provide a function, and that's much like how they view you in and out of bed, as a tool to be used and put away. It's like you might go and use a chainsaw, you cut some wood, you put it up. A lot of times they won't even clean it off. They won't even uh, sharpen the chain. They won't even oil the thing. This is what it comes down to you as a human. They won't maintenance you. They won't show you love and care and consideration. When they have sex with you, a lot of times it's so cold, you feel like you've actually had sex by yourself. In essence, you have. Because they're very disconnected when it comes to intimacy. And so, and when they do, let's say, try to kiss you, it feels almost like a corpse is kissing you. If I could imagine a corpse kissing me, that is the most vivid way I know how to. It is just so unattached to them. The thing they do is very unattached to them. A kiss is very unattached to them. It's almost like something is pushing them toward it. Something is superimposing, almost as if I was behind someone and they were attempting to kiss you. I would be manipulating their head. So you can feel the pushback, almost like they're resistant towards that thing that seems like they're eager to do. It's just a weird undertaking, and anyone who's been intimate with one know exactly what I'm talking about. And you who are listening now are able to say, wow, I thought I was the only one. It is synonymous with these people. So that tool would be given to the new supply, much like I was given trinkets of affection. And Christmas, I think it was 2018, which was the last time. She was in my house going into the new year, 2020, but they were out in a couple of months after that. They couldn't stay any longer. It was just too much to bear. My silence, no contact, gray rocking, and not to mention 3 days, 2 sleeping in my car and 1 getting a hotel or motel. 3 consecutive days. I didn't come home to my own home. That was to the point of what pushed them over. And they finally left. And this Christmas I'm speaking of, they purchased a Milwaukee battery powered heated jacket, to which I own one now. I just bought it this year. And I still think they're expensive, too much, but I ended up buying one. I finally decided I wanted to try it out. She bought me one in 2018. At that time, they were about $200 still, and I told her I didn't want it because I thought it cost too much. And that's just who I am. I just thought it wasn't worth it. And so I say, take that back. And so I think they ordered it, and they immediately, somehow or another, days later, I'm sure took it back or returned it or re-gifted it to someone else, possibly the new supply, if he was my size. And they'll get you something that's probably not your size because they didn't think about you and consider you your size. They didn't put any thought into it. And so in the way that they came into Home Depot and bought this, it's like they knew exactly what they came to get. And that's because they study what you like and what you want. And this is in a healthy relationship as well. A person who's paying attention, a wife or a husband, they would get their mate something that they know that they have been talking about and wanting. That's just what people do. But when a narcissist does it, it's all for leverage. It's all for leverage. because they're trying to get back in your good grace to further annihilate you more. It's weird. They will do impulsive things like buy you something and then the same day insult you and devalue and demean you. Because to see the joy on your face when they get you something, or the delight in your face, it bothers them once you've stopped thanking them for the gift. After you stop thanking them and then you start focusing back on that gift, that's when the hatred and the hostility kicks back in. So they're conflicted all the time. They want you to look to them to say thank you, appreciate it. This is the adulation, adoration, and admiration we're talking about. They live for this, and not just moments of it. They need it constantly. And as soon as you shift that off of you and you go back and focus on your gift and you're trying it on, you be like, wow, I like this. And they be like, you like it? I just said that. That's kind of how they are. And they're cold. You like it? Robotic. They repeat what you say because in their world they have to repeat this so you can continue to ride that wave of gassing you up. So you are elated or semi-happy or excited, and you will look back at them across the room and you will see a gloom over their face, and you will be like tempted to say, you okay? And if you dare say that, observing that gloom like they've ate something bad and their stomach is upset, you'd be like, you okay? They'd be like, yeah, but they're not okay. You just caused an injury to their ego because you're focused on yourself right there. You're happy. It's your birthday. You're just happy and excited. All these people came to see you and you're thanking this one or that one. They look over and see that you are giving somebody else your attention. They scorn. This is how childish they are. They can't see you happy. They'll throw you a birthday party and ruin it all at the same time. They'll abruptly get up and say, I'm going to the bedroom. Turn the light off when you're done. And you looking at them like, you leaving? You going to bed? They'll be like, I'm tired. And you'll go for that because at the moment you got guests, you're being considerate is what you're doing. So you don't like the fact that they're going to leave the party early and go to sleep with all these guests, retire to their room, and you're out here. You got to entertain all these guests, and this is your better half or your significant other, if you will. And something just feels off, but you go along with it and you say, okay. Because, again, you have to entertain all of these people that thought enough to come out and celebrate another year of you being in this world. And when that night ends, if you've been in that relationship long enough and you've seen this movie before, every time something good happens, you know it's just a matter of time when all hell breaks loose. And it's normally immediately after the company retires home and leave. So when the last person getting in their car to go home, before they even pull out of the driveway, you will hear a door slam where the narcissist is coming out of the bedroom. And you see a look on their face, and they look like 10 demons. And indirectly, you want to be petrified, but for the lack of the fact that you are confused, because you don't recognize the demon. It was your wife or husband when it went in the room, but now it's a demon. And so you don't dare ask what's wrong, because even the fact that you asking that's a fight. Now, I didn't experience this per se, but I'm imagining this skit I'm playing to you guys because I've seen it and observed this type of behavior by way of other people in relationships. But I did, however, experience this in that order of sorts. Not so much the birthday party, and not so much on a grand scale where the one that I was with, covert as she was quiet. Not very confrontational on the high end, on the intense end, but as subtle as she was, and as low key as she was, and as mild mannered and quiet as she was, you have the same intensity by way of the spiritual disparaging, if that makes sense. So, whereas a rageful, intense, overt narcissist female would be loud and obnoxious and boisterous and belligerent, this one I was with would be just a lot of word salad, to the point where I'm getting loud, I'm getting vocal, I'm getting belligerent. And this is what they normally do systematically. Get you out of character. And the more you get out of character and the louder you get, the more calmer they become. It's like, what's the matter? Why are you so upset? But just a second ago, they had issues with you, and you tried to reason with them, and it created some type of conflict. And a lot of times you can't even remember how the debate or the disagreement started. This is how methodical and out of thin air their issues are. And they just throw them on you. Because you're just retiring to the room and you're thinking, man, you know, I had a nice night, birthday party, all of my friends and people that, I was surprised all these people came. Very uneventful situation. Now you gotta go back in the room and deal with the demon. It is just an insidious situation. And you all who are still invested in these relationships like this, I want to leave you with this. Don't wait until things get as bad as some of us have illustrated to you. Because it hasn't happened, don't hold your breath hoping that your situation doesn't get that bad. Because the longer you stay in this situation with these individuals, it's just a matter of time. Because you haven't experienced this or that yet, it's just not your time yet. Going into a new year, whatever that means, you are going into a new year. But narcissists, they're just stepping into a brand new fear. Because 2024, with this awareness and this information that seems like it's flowing like a volcanic eruption throughout the stratosphere and the internet, this informative, eye-opening phenomenon called narcissist and narcissist personality disorder, it is going to ever increasingly get more and more widespread. From the political forum all the way down to just the everyday neighbor around the corner, across the street. These behaviors are becoming very, very, they're becoming very much paid attention to, and they're becoming more observed. And people are able to readily identify certain behaviors now. We don't have to say they're toxic. Toxic is an understatement. We have a name, we have a face, we have a behavior. There's no more sugarcoating it. We calling it for what it is, not for what we imagine it to be. And so going forward, guys, just keep in mind, it's about you first, so you can be the best you, so you can be the best person you are for other people. That being said, bless.